Hello, this video is about the Inheritance Lab, Lab 9, and in the Inheritance Lab you will be deriving new classes from a class called Bank Account. Now if you are not familiar with Bank Account yet, you will be. It's a ubiquitous account file, example file that's used in 203 and 204. What you'll be doing is creating a checking account and a savings account, subclasses of bank account. So here's the UML diagram, and as you can see, there's different attributes for a checking account and savings account. So task number 1 is to get the file accountdriver.java, and here it is. It's available online. And nothing spectacular about it. It just has several methods. And and bank account does not need to be modified. Here's bank account. It has a number of methods and a number of attributes. A balance and a owner and so forth. It has a default constructor and an argument, two argument constructor, a string and a double, and a third constructor, which is a copy constructor, plus the amount that you want to go in the new amount. So your task, so the first task is just to download the files. Write a constructor. First of all, write a new class called checking account that extends bank account. And make sure you contain this static constant called fee. It's static and it's a constant, and it's equal to 15 cents or 0.15 in our case. Then the third step is to write a constructor, takes a name and initial amount as parameters, and call the superclass constructor. So the part that is most difficult is savings account checking account numbers need to be different than checking account numbers. So the checking account numbers need to have the account number from the bank account from the superclass and concatenated with -10 on the end. So you only allowed one checking account per account at this bank. This bank is a little strange. One checking account per account, and it has to have the -10 suffix on it. So you have a getter in bank account that you have to use to get the account number. And withdraw is a new account that overrides the withdraw method in the superclass in bank account. It should take the amount to withdraw, add it to the 15-cent fee, and call the withdraw method from the superclass. Very specific. So remember, use the super keyword to call the superclass method. So an overridden method has exactly the same name and parameters. So the withdraw method returns true or false depending if it was able to complete the withdrawal, and that's what you need to check on. So the method that overrides it also should return the same true or false. And you compile and debug. The second subclass is savings account. Now you are allowed to have multiple savings account and it should contain an instance variable called rate that's set to 2.5%. Actually, it's 0.025 if you're going to do the math. And it should have an instance variable named savings number, initialized to 0. And you can have several savings accounts with the same number, same account, general account number, but then you start with 0 and you increment. So this is the first savings account, and that's the second savings account. And you have an instance number called account number that hides the account number in the superclass, but which also will be in this class, but you won't see it. There's also a method called PostInterest that returns no value, but it calculates 1 month worth of interest on the balance and deposits it into the account. There's a get account number that will override the get account number method in the superclass. So you need to have all these methods correctly done, as it says in the lab document, because the program should output the following, the driver should output the following script. There are 3 names, and it's kind of strange because they're all old dead white guys, as it says in the Dead Poets Society. But they weren't coexistent. In other words, Ben Franklin happened after. I don't think he even overlapped William Shakespeare, and Isaac Newton was a physicist. It doesn't matter who these guys are. What matters is the account numbers and the accounts and the various results. So it matters that you have a name and you print it out. And what matters also is that you figure out the account numbers correctly. So the account numbers have to be exactly like it shows here in this script. Exactly. The same number of the balance, the same 499.85, 2-0, 2-1, 3-10, and so forth. And the null, a dead giveaway is if some of these have null on the end of them, or the name is null. It'll print that out, and in grading we'll be able to figure out that this was something to do with the method construction. And then, as always, you put both the superclass and the subclass. No, you put the checking account and the savings account files. And if you're feeling generous, you've put the bank account and the driver in there too. And upload them to GitHub, upload them to Blackboard.